All right, everybody. This is Mike Spears from Maverick Calls, and I see that we have the Nucleus team here. So I am going to get started by bringing on Casey. I saw him here. Let's allow Casey to speak. I saw Ghost. And Casey, is there anybody else that you want me to provide permissions to right now?
Yeah, if there's a Red Warrior,
Red Warrior. Yep.
Coin Merge.
Yeah. Well, anybody who's on your team. So I think we got the three.
Okay. Salty Dog, and if there's a Hunger for Thunder or what's his name, Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt. Let's go look. I don't see a Thunderbolt right now. Thunderbolt, if you're in here, just put up your hand, and I will make sure that I bring you on up to the microphone. All right. Well, first and foremost, I'm gonna address the elephant in the room. Holy shit! Look at that chart. Like
Yeah,
this
right?
this thing is making a beautiful run today. Started really early this morning, obviously, and has just been pumping ever since. I see Sean is now raising his hand, so I'm going to allow him up here to speak as well. But we'll kick it off and get started. Here we are with the Nucleus team. This is Mike Spears from the Mavericks of Defi and Maverick Calls. Casey, introduce your team and tell us a little bit about Nucleus.
Yeah, I'm gonna let the team tell you all about Nucleus by their own introduction, really. So as they introduce themselves, they'll tell you, because everybody has their own part. We're an equal share team. It's just, we literally come to the table. If it means we have to wait for an answer sometimes till midnight sometimes, and with the questions asked at 9 a.m. It's tense. It is what it is, but we hold out until we get together as a team and we have a solid answer together and move forward. And that's really what's kept us together this strong and made the program and the project as strong as it is. And the project it's a beast. It's a monster. So I want to, we have Ghost and Sean are the devs. They're the guys behind. They're the guys behind the scenes. They're the guys that are making all the moves and writing the codes the way they need to be written so these things operate the way they operate. So they're in fashions the way that are described to everybody and like what people are looking for. So I'd love Ghost to get started because he has a really good understanding. Or if Sean's ready too, because he was raising his hand actually. So Sean should probably get started first, and then you guys you might have some questions, and then Ghost will probably have the rest of those answers, I would say.
All right, thank you very much, Sean. We will turn it over to you, my friend.
No, I'm all right. That was a total mistake. I'll just let Ghost talk first. He'll have a better understanding with the project, to be honest. So, yeah, he'll definitely just gonna describe all the things. All right, Ghost, go ahead.
Floor is yours, my friend.
Hey, Mike. So, first of all, I mean, I have no idea where to start with. That's how big Nucleus is. We see Nucleus as a token right now, but in the background, what we are working on, if I were to start, I would have to pick, well, let's say this first. Nucleus is an ERC20 token right now. We see it's on Ethereum chain, but I don't think most people here knows that the Nucleus platform itself is not just going to be Ethereum layer 1. It's going to be Ethereum layer 1 and layer 2. And that's something Nucleus has been working for the longest time ever since the Arbitrum came into play, ever since Optimism came into play, ever since that we found out how Ethereum 2.0 transactions are going to be. Nucleus has been working to become this humongous machine that works on layer 1 and layer 2. So that's something I think we should start with.
Yeah, listen, I have to say, I'm really excited about this because when I started going a little bit more in depth and diving in with Casey, obviously ERC token, but then you mentioned layer two and you mentioned Arby. For a lot of us out there, we're casual. We don't know all of this stuff. Can you walk us through what is layer two? What is Arby? How does all of this work together? And what does it actually mean for people that are eventually going to be trading on layer two?
So one thing about layer 2 is that layer 2, we've all heard about how Ethereum is going to be Ethereum 2.0, and you heard here and there about this RB, people say it's low gas, there's optimism, people say low fees. So basically layer 2 implements a protocol called proof of stake, not proof of work. Right now, Ethereum uses this protocol called proof of work, in which someone called a miner has to show that this transaction has to be proven by someone else. But with proof of stake, Ethereum takes away that mining operation. By doing so, it takes out that mining fee. You when you do a transaction, you pay a fee for that transaction for the Ethereum network, and you pay a mining fee for the person who confirms your transaction. So by turning it into layer 2, Ethereum takes away that mining fee. Now, Arbitrum and Optimism, these two layer 2 networks, they have already implemented that Ethereum's proof of stake concept, which means that while Ethereum gas fees are at like hundreds of dollars, 50, 60, hundreds, we've seen it go to like 2,000, 3,000, even $4,000. We've seen it go in the past few weeks. While it's at that, these layer 2 gas fees are like at $1, $2 to like $30 max. And because of that, the layer 2 transactions also, like when we put a transaction on Uniswap, we have to wait like at least 45 seconds, even we put high fast gas. On layer 2, on Arbitrum, these transactions go in within like 1, 2, 3 seconds. So you don't have to wait. You don't have to pay a lot. You have paid just a little bit of what you're paying on Ethereum, but it's the same token. It's the same platform. It's the same function. You're literally using Ethereum, but you're saving money. That's what layer 2 is. Layer 2 is there to save money that you're spending on these transactions, save the fees you're spending on trading. And Nucleus is going to bring all the functions we see in the ERC20 layer 1 network to layer 2.
That's fascinating. I love hearing about this because obviously you understand anybody who's trading right now. It's always the holdup is the gas fees. It's the inconvenience of how much people spend because a lot of people who are dealing in this altcoin space, they're not coming here with a ton of money. So at certain times when you have to pay $200, $300, $400, $500 in gas just in fees to maybe get your $100 or $200 buy, it's such a big inconvenience. So when I spoke to Casey and I heard kind of what that next level vision was for it, I was blown away because I know there's such a void in even education standpoint. A lot of the people probably on this call and that will be listening to this after the fact really don't even know what's going to happen next. And the fact that you guys are creating a coin that's going to have utility to be able to help with potentially the launching of coins on that network, which as a little segue there, I'd love for you guys to walk me through what the vision is as your launch pad and what you're thinking on how that's going to work with Arby.
So our launch pad is not just going to be for Arby. It will be on layer 1 coins as well as layer 2 coins. And wow, the most important fact of that is we will be providing people like direction, instructions, as well as the services they need to either transfer their own tokens, because most people here don't know that you can actually transfer the existing tokens on layer 1 to layer 2. So we will be providing them guidance and the services they need to get their layer 1 tokens into layer 2, as well as the ones who want to launch for cheaper than Ethereum to launch on layer 2. And on top of that, our holders, the normal public community, the investors, we are going to be helping them to transfer their assets from layer 1 into layer 2 by providing them guidance, providing them instructions, giving them easy, quick links, and giving them easier ways. That way, they don't have to go into their wallet and give these custom networks. They don't have to search on Google for hours at the end how to get into this layer 2 platform. We are going to provide them this one-stop place, like one-step stop that they can just go in. Okay, so I go in here, I click this button. Oh, that's how I get into layer 2. So that's how I buy this layer 2 token. Oh, that's how I get this layer 1 token into layer 2. We are going to make it that easy for them.
So with Nucleus as the platform for your website, is that going to be where you're going to be able to walk people through this kind of user experience to be able to have that easy transition? Because a lot of people get confused and jammed up in a lot of this. So people don't try other networks or explore. I mean, there's a lot of ERC people who look at BSC as like just foreign world. There's just not a lot of education. Okay, how do you get your ETH over to this chain, and how do you transfer it? So, are you guys going to be able to essentially take people from not knowing anything, but they have ETH, all the way over to understanding the differences and how to convert it over to be able to work on layer 2?
Hey, Mike. Sean here.
Hey, Sean.
Here's the thing. When I get started with RB, I was so confused because the whole network it seems a bit different, to be honest, right? I mean, you have to deposit ETH first, and you gotta take all the ETH to the layer 2, like those things. So we have those platforms there. So RB use like bridge Arbitrum, and those things to bridge ETH across L1 to L2. These kind of things. Yes, people need educational stuff as well. So we working on it. We doing like educational, like small clips. It takes like 3 minutes maybe. For a new guy, it might take 5 minutes, but yeah, when you get used to it, it takes a couple of seconds. So the main reason for the Arbitrum, what I see in the Uniswap, just look at the gas fees and all the transaction failures. How much going to cost you? But in Arbitrum, it's not going to happen. It's really good. The transaction fee is really low and it's easy, it's fast. So what I see in the future, in coming months, the whole like what I can say, the Uniswap, the router, the traffic gonna be reduced by 40%, I reckon, because a lot of people will get attracted to Arbitrum, and there will be huge traffic. So as a team, we working on the educational side because people need education. Like if I talk with my friends, they don't know about Arbitrum. They don't know how to send ETH across the network to the L2. So yeah, we have to teach them how to do it, the way to do it easily. So for now, the educational content, even if you Google right now, it's so low. But our team our creators working on the educational stuff, the content, the Thunder gonna help with the content and all stuff. So as a team, we're doing great. I think that's pretty much. I mean, got any questions? Like, Ghost can answer.
And honestly, that's really awesome because I'm in here every day. I invest in a lot of coins. I take a lot of gambles on a lot of coins. And one of the biggest things is like even me, someone who plays around a lot. When I hear different network, it freaks me out. I got added to like a call group for RB calls or something like that, and I'm like, what is this? It freaks me out. No, thank you. So the fact that there's really not big momentum moving towards what this is going to be is really fascinating because it's really going to benefit a lot of the people who play in this space on a regular basis. It's going to allow you to get more for your money inside of all of these coins.
Exactly. I mean, if you look at the Arbitrum network, there's like millions of volume there. But
there's a lot. Actually, it's actually at a course that the numbers are insane. That we're almost on. You can't keep up with them. It went from literally from 7,000 transactions a day to 37,000 transactions a day to 137 transactions. And that's how quick it's moving per day. So that's how quick that people are already there. it's in beta, honestly. So that's what, and that's what it is. And like everybody knows, in the next year, layer 2 says the staking method's going to be over. Like it's going to be done, and layer 2 is going to be free, right? So like it's going to be that's what it is. That's really basically that's what they're shooting for. So here's where, if you want to play around in it, that's basically where it is. And right now there's ways over there, and there is going to include safe passage there. So you have to include that. It's going to be like not only just not the education and safe passage, like, because anybody that's launched off our pad is obviously where we're going to point them in those directions.
All right, so you mentioned the launch pad, and obviously when we think launch, we think of brand new coins, and we can get to that in a moment. But are you guys going to assist current coins in this? And what does that vision look like? How are people going to be able to maximize this new network?
We've had a few talks with different people, and then we're just thrilled that they're excited in us, and we are we're really interested in what they do as well. And we're just open to whatever we can do and form a full ecosystem where the 3, 4, or 5 different people that might really want to be, move into that next level and just be move into the future now and just be there now and lead the way. We're open to a lot of different in a lot of different directions, because that was really how the next brain of it started. The Nucleus started.
Yeah,
it was we want to be able to showcase 1 million devs and 1 million teams and 1 million safely showcase them. And then we found out about Arby, and at the rate it was growing, and we had to learn, and we had to add it, and we had to get there fast.
Yeah. Can I add something to that? So when we think about current tokens right now, they have this problem of, okay, we have the tokens, we have it on there, we don't have the volume because people don't want to get that volume because the gas is so high. So what we are implementing is an ecosystem where tokens are intercomparable. Basically, we help them transfer their ERC20 layer 1 tokens, their supplies they have, into the layer 2 Arbitrum network. Now, most people currently don't know that it's not just ETH that you can transfer. You can transfer any ERC20 token into Arby.
Mm-hmm.
But when you transfer, you don't have that support that you have in Ethereum. What we are doing is building that support inside Arbitrum and layer 2, the same level of support that layer 1 has for those tokens. On layer 1, you have so much support from Uniswap. On layer 1, you have so much support from Team Finance, Unicrypt, and all that stuff. Layer 1, you have so many launch pads to get your pre-sales done. Layer 1, you have so many places you can market your tokens in. So what Nucleus is going to do is, while we bring a better congested, concentrated set of functions into layer 1, we are also going to be offering those same functions, those necessary functions inside layer 2 as well. You're going to have a place to showcase your token. You're going to have a place to market your tokens. You're going to have a place to show your charts, to show your transactions better. You're going to have a place that you can list your tokens if you're relaunching on Arby, even if you're relaunching on any other layer 2 network. Even if you need the support and the liquidity to get you started on Arby, we are going to bring that level of support to layer 2.
All right, now you hit the nail on the head there, because this is something that Casey's also mentioned. So you talk about bringing people together and being able to help. You mentioned liquidity and things like that. So talk to me about kind of how the utility or staking is going to be with essentially people being able to be seed investors or helping with liquidities through your platform, and what your vision is for Nucleus.
So I got to be really careful with this, because most of this stuff is still under wraps.
Oh, and that's perfectly fine. If there's something that you can't answer because you're still putting it together or making sure, try and give a brief elevator pitch of what the ultimate reason for somebody to buy Nucleus, hold it, and the advantages that are going to come down the line for somebody that may be holding more coins rather than just trading it when they have a quick 2x win.
Let's
Let me answer that. Let me kind of answer that because I spoke to it. I've actually had the opportunity and the honor to speak to both sides of a lot of people here, and what seems like what we all aligned with was that ecosystem, that staking, that kind of thing, that what DeFi really came, what DeFi was about right. It was like about financial freedom in full, right? So what's that mean is and what that means is also getting away from the rich getting richer, only getting richer, because that's what life really is like to be a real seed investor in a real multi-million-dollar or billion-dollar future company. You need to be able to probably lock up $20,000 minimum, and get a small little rate over a year or 2 year, 3 year time, whatever it might be. You have to be able to say goodbye to that $20,000, and you have to be wealthy enough to do that. Where what we're offering is we're allowing you to use Nucleus at any rate. Basically, we're accepting all of it at the rate it is as a token that will gain interest. It will gain, you can actually use it as something. And the best way to use the perfect word, because we're going to offer different parts on the platform. But the perfect word is it's an opportunity at a seed level investment, a level of a seed investor, and everybody in the real world knows what a seed investor gets, and it doesn't really not offer to the everyday Joe is really what it comes down to. I really still couldn't afford to probably just say, here's 20,000 and I hope I get it back next year. I don't think I could afford that today. I don't think I could. So I probably couldn't be a seed investor. That means I don't have the opportunity to be a millionaire ever. That's the way, that's who really makes the money, who make a lot of money off of the initial launch of a company or a new tech, and that's the people that are in that early. We're going to allow people to be in that early. We're going to allow the everyday John to be in that early.
That's awesome, and I think that's something that's really appealing to a lot of people who are always looking to kind of catch the train early, right before it's leaving the station, before that hype really gets there, because they want to find projects that they might have a passion for, that people are trying to pitch, and that they can connect with and be able to be a valuable resource for it. But a lot of the times in this world right now, 90% of the coins that are coming out every single day are scams. The money disappears literally before the end of the day is. And it's very hard for people. And I think that's honestly why we saw a little bit of a die out over the past month since gas fees have gone up. People have lost interest because they're already getting taken for a lot of scams and going on a run themselves. So being able to provide something that's a lot more legitimate and being in on things a little early is something that's going to be really appealing. That brings me to my next part about who they're going to be working with. You mentioned doxed developers and teams. Walk me through that, because that is something that I wish more people would do and stand behind their projects and what they do. So walk through what doxed in Nucleus is going to be for those projects.
So basically what that means is they're going to be doxed to the as a whole, as to the team. It's going to be that verification. It's going to be that stamp. It's going to be that blue check mark. So when you come in there and you do use that any part of the program, matter, because there's a ton of there. I mean, we'll be here for hours. We'll be here all night if we're getting into really what everything it does. But if you're there, basically you got that blue check mark. That's they're doxed in that way. It's their decision, at that point, how they want to publicly present themselves. We're not going to allow people to change that. Once you get that blue mark, it's that's it. Once you're showcased on that platform, that's it. You are those people. That there's no changing your. So that's that's a lot. That's safe. That's passage now. You know what I mean? And it's like we're offering safe passage. So we're not going to be saying we're Surtech, but we're going to audit everything. We're going to go through everything. Like if you want to use our program and our platform and our launchpad and this and that, like it's going to pass our standards. And we have other we have a lot. We have we're open to all types of ideas, but it has to pass our standards. And our standards are all and mainly just as long as it's safe for the community, and that's really the goal. Because if that's what Arbitrum's going to be. That's who it's going to be available to. That's the goal, right? So that's the future goal, because we'll get pushed out eventually. Not pushed out, we won't all get pushed, but it's getting to the point where we all know it's coming. That everything's getting transferred over, and it's going to be too expensive to play on that elite network in the layer one. If you're playing on that network, you already were playing. You're already working with. You're launching at $55 million market cap or $50 billion. You're starting that high. You already have that. The technology, you're so far ahead. So let's be real about it. Only the elite are going to be playing around on the layer one network at that point. At those costs and those prices in 5 years, in 3 years, in 10 years. What? Oh my God, gas prices. Forget about it. It's going to cost $50,000 just because we want to initially get an initial coin launch of. And raise the seed money for this technology and business that you opened.
All right, thanks for walking us through that. Obviously, just that whole piece of this industry is still just so taboo, and as so many people want to get into the DeFi space, into crypto, it's seen as just such a shady place because there are so many things that do go wrong. And I mean, honestly, I was taken for $10,000-$15,000 in scams just last month. It's regular. Even people who know what to look for are going to fall into traps. So one of the things that I try to do with my network and everybody that I talk to is we want to educate more and try and protect the people who we're bringing from Facebook and just the regular places, like our text messages, our friends from work, people who don't think that when they see a new coin launch, that's their opportunity to go get a quick 100x. So to hear that you're trying to create a more safer environment is definitely lines up with a lot of people who are coming into the space and will definitely be really attracted to that.
Yeah, Mike. So like you said, everyone wants to get on the train as soon as it gets to the station, or try to get on the train before it gets to the station. So what we are going to do is we are going to put a check post when the train leaves the train yard. We are going to have a check post that checks whether the driver is qualified, whether the train is safe, and whether people can get to their destination safely and fastly in this train. And the only trains that are going to be allowed to go through our stations, our tracks, are the ones that pass that quality control. That's what Nucleus is going to do. Nucleus is going to, if a train comes with a rickety ass engine, a driver who's not qualified, we are going to be like, okay, no, you can't go on this track, because the people that are on these stations, the people that are coming to travel on our track, they expect a certain standard. So you are not up to this standard. Sorry, no matter how much you pay, we are not going to let you go through this. That's what we are going to do.
Man, I love that. I think that's going to speak volumes to people who are out there and who are searching and who are going to hear more about you guys. I hear you guys are working on a new website. What's the status of that? Because I remember I received a message the other day and someone's like, "Hey, Mike, I'm going on a podcast in a little bit. Give me the best 2-minute pitch that you have of what Nucleus is. I see you've been talking about it." And I'm like, "Oh shit, I don't know a lot about Arby." So I did my best. I'm like, "Casey, get me over some information." There's not a lot of stuff on the website. It's not framed that way, and I know you guys are going through it. So what's the update on the new content, the website, where we're going to be able to direct people so they can go be informed about what Nucleus is and what it's going to be?
I think giving an ETA on that would be up to the web devs, but I can give a certain, a close time frame. So as you can see, we decided to go with, we had a normal website, a placeholder before, but we decided to update that to match what the upcoming content's gonna be. And right now, our web devs are working hard to get these smart updating content that tracks their information automatically from the APIs, and no one has to enter those information manually. So they are going to be adding content every single day, every single week, until that thing's 100% completely perfectly done. But for the time being, we will be pushing them. I'll be personally pushing them to make sure that the educational content comes first. So people will get that education. People will be able to go there and learn what it is before they start playing in it. So while the utilities are being developed, while the utilities are coming, we will be focusing on getting that educational content, getting to people how to spot, like, is this a token I should invest in? Is this a network I should move to? Can I make money if I stay in ETH, or can I make money if I move to RB? What would be the advantages I would get personally if I spend like thousands of dollars? I use $50,000 to trade. I use $500 to trade. So who would be more getting like better result out of that? If I stay in ETH, would I be making more expenses? Would I be going to RB? Would I be making a decision that's sustainable long term? I mean, I'm going to say yes, but we want people to read through them. Be able to do their own research. So we are going to give them the data, the information they need to do their research, and I'm going to be personally pushing our web devs to get that information and get that content as soon as possible, but perfectly done, because we do not want to get a product out that's not 100% perfect.
No, that's very interesting. It's honestly just fascinating stuff, because it sounds like you guys are solving the problem for so many people in the space, and so many coins that have issues. I mean, there are coins that are literally stopping what they're doing now in real time because their buyers can't keep up with the fees. It's too much, and they lose momentum, and they die out. From hearing what you guys are talking about, it seems like such a solid way for coins to launch, especially if they're not coming in. I mean, listen, let's be honest. Unless you're coming from the Shiba ecosystem or something like that, nobody's coming in with 15, 20, 50, $100 million market caps quickly. Like, that just doesn't happen. So when you're working with all this small MC stuff, you have to really bring in some significant buyers who can withstand what the gas fees are. But that's not who's playing in this space. So you guys are really solving a major issue here. I'll ask the next question. When are you guys going to be able to start launching projects? How are you guys going to be able to get that operational?
I think the best ones answer those questions would be Thunder and Sean. Is Thunder in here?
Might be with Rob.
He's in there. He's under a different name though. Just hang on a sec, I'll find it.
Okay. But yeah,
here he is. He wants to speak again. He must have left and came back. Sean, floor is yours.
Sean?
Oh, hey guys, sorry, I was muted. My God, I was speaking to myself. It happens. I couldn't find Thunder, to be honest. He's the guy. He got the perfect idea of the time frames, and we are working for the all the platforms for months, and we got the staking one, and we're talking about the Arbitrum. Everything's getting ready, but for a better time frame, I think we need to get Thunder here. Casey, can you just bring him up? Sorry.
I'm
Hold
sorry.
on, two people started talking. If everybody can mute while Sean's
I think Thunder is under Legion, pretty sure.
Okay, what's his name?
Who are we looking for?
Yeah, so
We are Legion. There we go. He's just there, third down.
We are
Oh,
Legion.
Yes,
we are
we are.
Legion. Yes.
All right, allowed to speak. All right, we are Legion. You have the floor, my friend. If you just come off, yep, there you go.
Sorry about that. What's up, guys? What's up, Mike?
Hey, how are you?
Good, good. I was getting cut off, so I missed a little bit of it. So, fill me in. Last 2 minutes.
Last 2 minutes, we're just looking at potential timeframes and when you guys are going to be able to potentially start accepting requests of people who want to be in your launch pad and when that beta might be of launching your first project.
Well, Mike, what we've been doing internally is analyzing exactly the technical aspect because we want to make sure that if we do launch anything and we collect any type of investor funds, that we want to make sure that we have a good time frame to launch. So we have a couple of products. Some products we could launch that at a less than 2 to 3 months. Some products could be a little bit longer because we're fine tuning it and testing it. But whatever product we do launch, we have a big team in which we're trying to have it very well organized and start with some beta testing before we start getting more investors into the product themselves.
And I think another thing that we need to add is that the alpha testing phase will be open sooner than the beta testing phase, but at the meantime, we are going through the auditing processes. We are going through and fine tuning these qualification processes for other launchpad and tokens. So if anyone's actually interested in that, they could directly contact us even right now, because while the product is launching, the products are being developed, we already have the capability to help them internally and manually to get to that point that they are ready to launch their tokens alongside our platforms. So we if so any potential tokens, they already have the chance, the opportunity to contact us to be in that first round of launches, that first layer of launches. And Mike, I have to say, when that first round of launches come up, some people will probably have to wait 2-3 weeks to get into the queue.
Awesome. Thank you for walking us through that. I'm going to get ready to open up the floor for anybody that has questions for anybody from the dev team here. We're about 40 minutes into this so far. I like to keep these tightly at around an hour, keep everybody's attention spans there. So if you have any questions for the team, if you can start by raising your hand, and I will bring you up here to ask any of those questions to the team. Right now, I'm also going to open up chat just in case you do not want to mention it on voice to submit your question there. So bear with me 1 minute and raise your hand if you have big questions. All right, I see one question. Here we go. All right, Pigeon. What's up, buddy?
Hey Mike, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, buddy. What is your question for the dev team?
Yeah. So I just want to ask if audit is done for Nucleus contract and all, or is it in pipeline?
For the Nucleus contract, we had some internal teams do the audit for the contract to make sure that there are no bugs or anything like that. But an official audit is in the pipeline, and we want to make sure that we are able to get that audited certification onto even Etherscan before our staking platforms and our launching platforms come up. Another point I think we should have added is that all the information, all the verifications, all the certifications, before you get to invest, you have to start putting money into those products. Even for our investors, for teams that are willing to launch with us, before they put their money into the Nucleus platform, we are going to make sure that they can be like, they can rest assured in every way that we are going to verify everything. We are going to make sure everything is officially given to them, all the information, what's going to happen inside, all the fees and all that stuff, all the certifications, all the audits. We are going to make sure that they are publicly available before they start investing into the Nucleus platform. But as for a audit for the Nucleus contract, the Nucleus token, it is on the pipeline right now.
Okay. Actually, yeah, what's Mike also mentioned, and you also replied earlier regarding the train. So we are more concerned about the safety and security. So that's why I asked about the audit, because I see number of projects when they are in the middle of their uh, after the launch, like if they have 50 million market cap or 100 million market cap, then they are relaunching the
Right.
token again. So that shouldn't happen, actually, what I would say, because that is kind of headache for the investors also. Somebody will put just $1,000, then they will go for the vacations, right? And in between they will not see anything what is happening or not. So that was the magic.
And thank you so much for that question, because that is a concern that we are trying to solve for everyone. So rest assured, we are going to be solving that on our end before we start solving that for other people. So yeah, thank you for that question.
Yeah. And regarding the roadmaps, sorry, I didn't look that much into the website or white paper. So is that ready, or like what we are planning for the next month or after that, so on?
So the white paper is being developed. The reason why we are thinking about releasing a version 0.5 white paper basically before the release of the version 1. We wanted to get some of the basic fees and basic utilities you get as a holder and a dev team uh, settled and set on in stone before we put it into the white paper. That's why it's not currently out yet, but we are going to be giving we are going to be publishing a version 0.5 white paper with a brief summary of our roadmap and what Nucleus means pretty soon. So yeah, it is there. Everything's being developed, everything's being pushed, everything's being done. It's just we are making sure that before we say something to the public, that it is going to happen, because we don't want to say something and not
Then it
that not be happen. Yeah,
not happening and taking more time, because that makes some investors some impatient, actually. Yeah.
exactly.
And so in your white papers, roadmap will be there. Then there will be everything regarding the marketing and CS listing and everything, right?
You
Exactly.
you want to know what the white paper would have said for Nucleus if it was written before? It would have said this is a showcase to what's to come. Is really what it would have said, and I guess people were impressed with what it was. So we knew right then and there it had to grow.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you. I'm done. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Johnny, I see you with your hand up. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I just had a question. Just curious with the launch pad and everything else. Are you guys also going to be doing writing contracts and code for others? Is that a possibility, or
Yeah, that I can
are people
answer.
coming to you with something already done?
Yeah, I can answer that directly. Yeah, we do have a dev team with us that if you have a great idea that's useful to the community, and you are willing to, like, if you agree to go with our qualifications that makes it safer for the community, if you agree with our conditions, yes, we will help you get the contract done, we will help you get the code done, we will help you from 0 point. Even if you are someone who doesn't have any crypto background, we are there to help your idea grow into something that's useful to the community. But again, the main part is it has to be useful to the community.
But don't take out the part like you said. Ghost, remember, if you remember, it will write a contract that was, like the people need to learn. We all learn by either losing or failing or whatever we did. So like, you might have a 13-year-old kid too that has $20,000 or $30,000 and he wants to own a little piece of crypto, and tell for his birthday that that's gonna happen. Like, it'll be a safe passage though for like, we're not going to be sending investors there. There's no investors are going to be coming there. Like, they're not going to have access to the callers. They're not going to have access to any of that stuff. So the people the people that are going to have the blue check mark are going to be the people like the Mavs, other people that come up in the game. Like, you pioneered something, right? So there's going to be somebody behind you, and if there wasn't, that means you don't have something to market, and you don't have a product that has any value. So if you don't have competition, that means you don't probably have any value either. So like, when that happens, we're gonna make that something that's possible and available. So like, people like the newcomers into the space, they're only going to be able to talk to people with that blue check mark, basically that verification. If they use our area, by using our area, that's what they get. They get to talk to people that have already been checked out, checked through, thorough docs. Like, they're not running off with your $20,000 or $30,000. It's a safe place to play with 20 or 30, or in our in our eyes, it might be like wasted, but we're not going to let investors invest in that either. So that, like, it's going to be on both sides. So we're here to protect DeFi. Like, we want to put our footprint in history with this.
So I want to add to what Casey was also saying. When the question was, are we going to help with the coding and the contract? One of the things people forget is, besides the individual investor or individual idea person, you have small businesses all around the world. It could be like 10-person company or 50-person company that may not be in the crypto blockchain space. So this is a good way to bring these small businesses into these space by having them introduced to blockchain and taking care of all the contracts and their technical side, which they might not have internally to take care of.
Awesome. Thank you for answering that. I believe that.
I appreciate that.
Awesome. Any other questions? Otherwise, I have a couple that have came in via text message and messenger. First one is, how will you guys be charging for people to launch on your platform? Is it going to be paid in ETH? Is it going to be paid in Nucleus token that's going to be taken out of circulation? How are you guys going to use that business model to ensure that your holders are also gaining value by holding on and buying into your project?
Is that like, no? I guess, Ghost, maybe they're asking about, like, what Dex is. Dex
Yeah,
bring. That's kind of that's kind of what they're asking about. Like, what
yeah.
What the
So,
what the next launch is.
So it'll be a combination, Mike, because it'll be a combination of their payments will be a combination of ETH and Nucleus. So when the fees are paid in our platforms, if a team pays with Nucleus, they are going to get. I hope my team doesn't kill me for saying this stuff, but they are going to get a lower rate than someone who's paying directly in ETH. So if they pay with a combination of Nucleus, so say they pay a certain amount of Nucleus plus a certain amount of ETH, as we all know, we don't want them to completely pay with Nucleus, because if we do that, that means we will be, to get the expenses, we will have to bring money out of Nucleus. So we don't want to do that. So instead of that, we decided to go with, okay, you pay a certain amount of fee with the and a certain amount of fee with the ETH. The ETH you pay will be used for the marketing, for the further development, for the sustainability of the platform. And the Nucleus you pay will be burned to take the supply of Nucleus down and to take the value of Nucleus up.
Awesome. Very nice. Very nice. Do you guys, as a dev team, plan or have any goals in this short term? And let's say short term is in the next 3 months. Are you guys, as a team, committed to Nucleus as a project, or are you guys going to be launching other coins as well? That any of the community members or anybody who sees you guys in the Nucleus chat, are they going to see you doing other projects as well?
They're gonna see us do this. The next step is Dex. It's this Dex platform, and that's just part of the name. It's in the website. It's been dropped. I don't think the name's a secret anymore. But
Yeah.
it gets to a point where we know that it's time to it's all right. It's time to showcase what we're doing. We're gonna need to raise real money. It's not gonna be a test, or it's not gonna be I mean, Mike, our conversation sounded like the first night. I was like, this is what it is, man. Like, this is exactly what it is. Like, this is how we wanted it to look and work. Now if people believe in it, it'll take off. And that was the way the conversation went. And it had a funny twist to it, if you remember. But anyway, long story short, Nucleus has that next step available, and that's what that is we spoke about in the beginning, is that it's going to be a token that is going to be eco-friendly to other a lot of other collaborations, and it's going to be allowed that you can use it to reinvest. So not only when you pull it back out 6 months later, because it's going to get locked up. So say they lock up 50,000 Nucleus. We're just making up numbers here because I'm not a mathematician. And they lock 50,000 and for 6 months, and we guarantee them X amount of percent of guarantee and a return on our DEX on our token. And that's what when we return it to you, it's going to be worth X plus Y. And if we guarantee that, like for them as seed investor, we make them seed investors. So that being said, yes, you will see the next step launch. But that will include Nucleus. It literally includes Nucleus and any collaborations Nucleus makes on the way in. And that's the only one you'll see is involved. Because I was, someone thought they saw me in a different one today. Kind of funny.
Now, that brings me to my next question, and I wanted to do that towards introductions a little bit earlier. Walk us through what's going on with you, Casey, personally, and with impersonations, and what people should watch out for, because you're a pretty well-known person when you're modding and you're an admin inside of groups. Walk us through what's going on with you, and yeah.
Yeah, so I got the first message was from somebody that was actually an admin in our group in Nucleus, and she was like, "Yo, boss," kind of like, "Hey, I just think you should see this." This guy messaged me, kind of like, and I almost didn't even get into it once I could see it was fake. I didn't like, I didn't want to, it didn't matter how much more it said. I knew it was just a fake, and I just said, "No, it's not me," right away. Like I wanted her to get that to be the answer right away. So like. But when I looked at the screenshot she sent me, it was identical to my profile. It said Casey, and I imagine, the way, however they got to her, because she seemed like pretty professional. They were good at what they did. So that was one scam, and then the second one was, a guy did talk to me, and I spoke to him about basically what we're about, and I said, if you're really going to want us to do what you want us to do. Sure, you could say what we would be involved with it, but like it's going to be a few weeks. You're going to be on delay and this and that and the third, and then basically he said nah, I'm going to be launching Friday. What was today, I think, and all right, I'm not involved. Like take me out of it, Well, he banned me from his chat. He literally like doxed my old home address and he pasted it in there. And he used that information also when he uploaded the information of the owner to the Etherscan of this thing called coin. So that so there's people having they're having a field day with some of, I guess, whatever the hype. I humbly accept it, but like they're having a field day with it out there, and I warn everybody, like my line's always open. Like don't if somebody the one question, the one DM I did see, I did read through. It was basically saying he was running a pre-sale, and basically, he was told to reach out to that person, and they might be interested in the pre-sale. Those were the three different scams I heard of that were shown to me in like a screenshot that looked like me, that had like the NFT or my face, or they made their at look like mine. And just so I'm only involved in this is my team, and I work for I do have a job that I work for Minty, and my team knows that. And it's a totally different job, because this was I'm a co-creator more or less, and that's my job as a co-creator, is marketing. So I took a position with Minty. So if that's what you're saying, like, but that's a totally different, separate thing, and I would never cross those boundaries.
No, yeah, no. Of course, I didn't mean anything about Minty. Like, there's a difference with a legitimate project and being part of that versus a new shitcoin launches and people all of a sudden there's 19 people in the room and your team is part of it. I just want to clear up for everybody that they don't have to worry about devs launching another coin. There was an instance where a team of admins launched one coin about 2 days ago and then launched another one today, and it caused a big uproar. So when people look at the chart and they see how great the increase has been and how many X's that it's already done, we want to make sure that people know, is this still a good entry point? Are the devs still making sure, not only just with the project, but making sure that the coin's price is always going to continually go up? So if you're not jumping around to other projects and just launching things, stealth launch, that's something that makes people feel more safe with jumping in regardless of what the price is currently of Nucleus, because they know that it's still got a lot of legs and a lot of room to grow.
Yes. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Oh, I got it. So, like, when we say the team is dedicated, we really mean it. Most of the team hasn't slept till they don't sleep till 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning. And like today, every single day, every single time there's a dip happens, I don't know whether people have noticed that our buyback wallet comes into play. And most of the time, whenever there's a dip happening, the buyback wallet will help keep the price up. And that we don't know when the dips happen. We don't know when the coin's gonna go up. We don't know what's gonna happen in the chart. So whenever we get the news, okay, you are needed, we are there. Like today, I was teaching one of my classes, and they had an exam. While I was supposed to be administering the exam, I kind of left out, went out, took care of some stuff for the Nucleus, and came back. I hope they didn't copy your answers or something like that.
That's awesome. That is a great story. Very cool. So Casey, I know you had mentioned about partnerships. Is there anything that you can share with the communities and people listening after the fact of any partnerships that are currently in the process or already agreed upon, anything like that?
I can tell you that I've spoke to people. It's their business. If they can raise their hand if they're still here. And I just about exactly what we're about is is safe players, or whatever you want to call them. Safe actors, like safe passage. I don't want to announce, because I don't know what somebody else's total vision is, and if they're listening to this question and answer, they may have changed their mind. So I don't think I should really announce any partnership like that. I said, we are open to others. They can raise their hand if they're here. A couple of people messaged me throughout the day and said they'd be here, and I let them know, I'm like, you're available to speak up if you like. We're honored. The people that we told that we're honored for them to be here, like, yeah, great. I know that we accepted a listing with ePro, so we put we put the application in with them, and we're open to everybody, because we want this to be, like I said, Nucleus is the center of something, and it's a brain of something. And if it's going to constantly make somebody money, it has to be open to everybody, you know, and everything. So like there might be some of these coins or tokens that we're talking about that are cross chain. Well, they're great. They're great collaborations. They're great opportunities for collaboration for Nucleus and Dex Runner, because they bring in the other chains that we're not, that, you know, we're versed in, but we're not, like, we shot a lot up. You know, you got to shoot up 20 to get one good one. Like it's just like it's like baseball, or it's like sales, like whatever odds, what it is what it is. Like the odds are the odds, and like to get it right, you got to practice a lot. So once we got it right and we had everything ready, that's when it was time. You know, so like now it's time. So we want to bring all the people in that are better. They're already there. They might have beat us. They might be better at something there, but they want a collaboration too. You know, so like we're open to that. Like if you're better than something than we are, and your culture matches ours, then we 100%, we vibe with it. We want to go with it. We want to collaborate it, because that grows the amount of safety across the communities.
Awesome. We have a question from the community asking, what is a realistic goal and for short term and long term market cap for Nucleus?
You want me to pick up that, Casey?
Yeah, Thunder. I think you know that. Yeah, absolutely.
So, Mike, anytime we speak about market cap and people are aiming some targets, it's very difficult subject, because, as you know, the market hasn't been the same for some time, and things fluctuate, things go up, things go down. So it's very hard to have a target set. For us as a team, our target is to launch a good product that's going to grow within whatever market that's available. If it's a bear market, we're still rolling and we're still producing and we're still getting our investor profits. If it's a bull market, we're getting 10 times as much profit. That's the way I would like to answer that, because, you know, I could tell you a bullshit answer and say we're going to hit 10 million, but you know what? Market condition might change tomorrow. You know, I also like to pay attention to politics and the world news, and you know, sometimes stock market, what's happening to that affects crypto a lot. So when we spoke about doing a product, we wanted to make sure the product is not something that dies off during a bear moment. You know, we want to make sure this product has a long runway to where 2 years from now, our investors are still profiting from it.
And that makes all the sense in the world. So we're about a little over an hour into this. So unless there's any more questions, I'm going to give the dev team, I'd like each of them to give kind of a quick elevator pitch on why Nucleus at this 1.1 million market cap at the 1102 in coin price. Why is this still a good buy right now for people as an entry point?
So the market cap is definitely, it's just undetermined right now, and the reason is because it goes back to the collaborations, and even though the ones that started, Mike, it doesn't like, and if they change their mind, like there's a lot of great projects out there, right? That also so it's no matter what, it's just set to collaborate and make and form an ecosystem to grow and allow, again, the everyday Joe. So, and that's really why, like, people got into DeFi. Like, we have to go back to the root.
Casey,
that's what we're talking about.
Let's hold on 1 second. Right now, at the current price at 5 zeros and 11, why is this still a good price point, entry point for people to join Nucleus and get started?
My 2-second answer is it's so far into the future that like the market cap is still undetermined. You know, we're thinking we probably have to raise a good 3-4 million just to get a good product started. I think the number was Thunder could tell you the exact a better, closer number, how much we'd have to raise, like what the next level would be. The next, just the starting market cap.
Yeah, I think he's having a little bit trouble getting into the conversation. So like, and yeah, like Casey said, market cap is undetermined. But a simple answer would be, when we started, we had 100% supply. Right now, we had how many burns? We had 2 burns, 3 burns, and it's at 97% supply. When we started, what was this price? And have we seen this token pump and dump, or have we seen this token slowly climb? Everyone who waited for a better opportunity is regretting it right now. Everyone who waited for a dip to buy in is regretting it right now, because Nucleus doesn't go down. Nucleus supply doesn't go up. The supply keeps going down and the price keeps going up. So if you wait,
I think you dropped off there, but I think we got exactly where you were going with that. Let me see. Anybody else have anything to add in before we close this up and I render this for a replay and be able to put that out there? If anybody has any last minute questions, please feel free. Otherwise, I thank the Nucleus team for coming on here tonight and talking and really sharing what their vision is for their product, and a coin that actually has utility in this space where everything just seems to be here one day, gone the next, with no utility. So as somebody who really invests in a lot of things, I appreciate that you guys are being very methodical about what you're doing in building out that plan. And I, for one, will be supporting you guys and look forward to seeing you guys grow and putting out more information about your roadmap and all of the education materials about how you're going to really make your mark in the DeFi space. So thank you very much for coming on tonight, guys.
thank you so much for the opportunity, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Absolutely. Everybody have a good night, and I will have the recording posted shortly.